Welcome again to another edition of For Real Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Willis, real estate agent, Mr. Willis Close It. To my right, I do have Miss.
Sheridan McCorkle with Compass Realty.
And to my left, I have Miss.
Imani Blunt, Reese Nichols, Monty Soda.
Oh, okay. Monty Soda.
I don't know why she stuttering.
That be like, Maybach music.
I did not expect that.
I was like, why is she stuttering?
I'm so weak.
I thought she did. I thought she developed something like we
No,
we
I
did
was
this
trying to
before.
make it like they be on the songs. I'm like,
I like
Maybach
it. I like
music.
it.
Okay,
Monty Soda.
that's gonna be on your tagline.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. I'm be on the radio. So I'm like, Monty Soda.
I like that.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, we had a great week since our last taping in that regards here. Shout out to Mr. Tory Barnes. I know he couldn't make it on this one here. You're our miss, brother. Taking shots, having a good conversation in the week recap of real estate. So, Ms. Sheridan, let's start with you. How what's going on business-wise? What you got going on?
Honestly, I am very slow right now, but I'm okay with it because
It is slow season.
listen, last year I would be up till 3 a.m. with clients, waking up at 6, starting all over again. So I'm cool, just getting ready for my trip. And
Where you going?
Nigeria and Ghana.
Oh, Africa, that motherland.
Yes.
Okay, bring me back some Jollof fries.
Afrochella, I'm excited.
Oh, that's what you're going out
That's
there for?
so exciting.
Who's supposed to, like, you going to, like, concert or something like that?
I'm going like with a travel group.
Okay.
They got a couple of things for us between the two countries. The thing I'm looking forward to the most is the Afrochella.
Nice.
And
nice.
New Year's on another continent.
Oh, so
I always
you,
wanted to
how
go.
long are you going to be there for?
December 20th through January 1st.
Nice. How long is that flight?
It's pretty long. I have a 23-hour travel day. I don't know how long the exact flight is. They got me flying to Ethiopia, then to Nigeria.
Oh
So,
my God.
it's going to be a day.
I'm going to pray for you.
Imagine a layover in a whole nother country. You don't know what's going on.
Don't have to sleep out there, get a delayed flight or nothing like
Listen,
that.
I got
Oh
30
my
minutes
God.
between my flight from Chicago. Like when I land from Chicago to Ethiopia, I got 30 minutes between that and Lagos. So we'll see.
Oh, so you
That's
be
what
in
they
the-
set
you-
me up
you
on.
basically
So
gonna be
I'm
in the air
pronouncing
the
it
whole-
Lagos.
So it's
I'm
Lagos?
probably saying it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know how what's this. I just be saying stuff.
Now I'm going to have to look
And
it
this
up.
might
I don't
be-
want to sound ignorant when I get there.
People be like, "That's not how you say that," or they be like, "Say that again," and I be like, "That's not how you say that," and I be like, "That's how I've been saying it." And I
Yeah.
said, "Why nobody ever told me that?"
I'm probably saying it wrong.
I don't know, man. It's just long flights for me. Like, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't taken like a flight to Africa, because always my bucket list, trip is
A
always
moment in time for a lifetime of memories.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but I mean, you got to get there, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm here 11
terrified.
days.
I'm
Yeah.
terrified of flying. As much as I fly, I'm still terrified.
wow.
I've always been like deathly scared of heights. So I think with like coming up, like you watching yourself ascend higher and higher, and then like you look down. I don't know. It just gives me really bad anxiety.
So do you like a window seat or not a window seat?
It's crazy because I actually like window seats.
I hear that a lot. Like people who are afraid of heights and the
But I
idea of flying
still-
freaks them out. They still sit by the
I
window.
still sit in the window. I still will open the window and be looking down. And I feel like once you get so high that you can't really see much of
Yeah,
anything,
you'll be above the
it's
clouds
not that
most of the
bad.
anyway.
But it's the like when you going up and you could feel the plane and your body lifting up. I just be feeling like I'm on my way to heaven.
See,
or
I
something.
prefer an aisle seat because I get a little claustrophobic.
No, I need that window seat. Me personally, I just came back from Tampa. And oh my God, my God, I promise you, this turbulence literally woke me up out of my sleep. I thought I was gonna die. I was like, I was
When
sending
you was flying
messages.
back from Florida.
Hey, I was sending messages to my wife like, hey, I love you and the kids.
Bye.
If I don't make sure you do right with the life
Did the little
insurance.
mask thing fall down?
No, it didn't. But it literally
little
was
mask,
like,
that
it
little
was like,
oxygen mask.
yeah, no, that would have freaked me all the way out. If the mask
for
would fell
real.
out, it was all over. I'm screaming, I'm gonna pass out.
I'll probably pass out like before anything get a chance to happen because I'm probably have a panic attack.
Well, you got a flight tomorrow.
Where you going?
Cancun. But it's not as long as of a flight as I thought it was.
It's not.
When I went to Hawaii, it was like a 9-10 hour flight going, and I slept the whole time.
Where are you connecting through?
What do you mean?
When you fly to Kansas City, where you land to be able to get to Mexico?
We just going straight to Mexico,
From Kansas City?
straight to Cancun.
Okay.
It's like
I thought you usually got to
I
land
thought
in
you
like
had to go
Houston.
through like Houston or Atlanta.
See, that's the thing. we purposely looked for flights that were nonstop because we didn't want to have to stop and go nowhere and then move again. When we went to Hawaii, I had to stop in Minneapolis for a little bit, and then we flew from there. So it was actually a total of almost like 12 hours. But I think it's a straight flight there, and for some,
airline?
it's through Frontier, and that was the only airline that had a nonstop flight.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
know.
I ain't never heard of
It's
that.
only like
Listen.
I think it's a 4-hour flight there, and then I think back it's really like 3 hours and 30 minutes. And
Frontier's
I'm
the
like,
one that got like that new.
Fly.
Girl, I
as
would
much
never
as you
fly with
want.
them again.
Oh no,
I would never-
They got that unlimited flying.
happened?
pass.
I only booked with Frontier. They wasn't even the cheapest option. I only chose them because they was the only ones with a nonstop flight there and back. Because who wants to be coming back from vacation and have to stop in another? I just want to get back home. So, but you have to pay for literally. It's worse than Spirit. You gotta pay for your carry-on bag. You gotta pay for, and that's on both
Shout out to
flights.
Southwest.
There and back. You gotta pay for your check bag, and you gotta pay to get assigned a seat. They said, we'll just assign you a seat. If you want to pick your seat and you want to stay with your
Yeah, that's
party,
how American
you got to
is,
pay
though.
for it. They was like, you could bundle it all for $500. I'm
Extra?
like, yes, $500 for your carry-on, your check bag, and your seat
I would have
assignment.
just rather
Lay
stop.
over me, please.
Right.
I said,
Lay
look,
over
baby,
me, please.
don't,
You
baby,
said-
don't worry about it. I don't need a carry-on.
Hey,
I'm
lay
good with just
over
my
me,
check
please.
bag.
Have you been to Cancun before?
Nope. I've never been out the country. I mean, Hawaii don't really count. I've never been on an international flight, so
Nice.
this is my first time.
See, my
Okay,
bucket
let me
list.
tell you something. Go ahead.
No, I'll just go ahead now.
Okay, so when you go to Mexico,
Okay.
just tell you. Okay, so if you give the people a tip, I hate to say this, they'll put you in a wheelchair. They'll roll you straight through customs ahead of everybody.
Yep.
And then you just got to look for the people lingering with the wheelchair because they know didn't nobody come off that flight that needed a wheelchair. So if you watch them and you right there, you tip them like $50, they help you go get your bag. They
Do
get
I
you
gotta
every...
convert that to pesos first?
No,
Or-
you probably
Hey, no,
still
yeah,
get,
just find them a 50. Because
they'll
that 50
take both.
ain't, yeah. They definitely go treat
That's
you
the
like.
trick right
That's
there.
another thing I was wondering if I could use my American credit card. in
Oh,
Mexico.
absolutely.
Yeah, you can use it down there.
But you need to alert your bank.
Yeah, because they'll put
yeah.
a stop on it because it'll look like fraud.
And I got Navy Federal. They real quick.
Oh,
to-
yeah, they-
Ma'am,
Hopefully you
what
can do
is
it
that?
online since it's so late.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
you
I think
can
they do
usually
have
call
something
in.
where it says like if you're traveling international, you can like alert us.
You gotta
And
do
make
that
sure
with
you
your
hang
cell phone
on
too.
to that visa form that they're going to have your hotel take care of. Because if not, let's say you
A
running
visa
late.
form.
It's like a little piece of paper. You're gonna fill out this piece of paper when you get there. And you're going to need to hang on to the piece of paper. And you're going to hand it to your hotel, your resort when you get there. Or if you stand in one.
Yeah, I'm staying at a
You have
resort.
to pay like $10, $15, something like that. You have to have that when you coming back.
Ah.
So you got keep it handy because my dumb self packed it in my check bag the last time on accident. I know I'm supposed to keep it out.
Yeah.
But on accident, I accidentally packed it. And
You don't
I
be
had to go
thinking
through
about
this
that
whole
when you're
process.
packing. You're just trying to get your stuff all together.
Right. And I had to
So-
go through this whole process.
Oh yeah, I don't got time for that.
Yep.
So how was it at the airport in Kansas City? Like,
Is
is
Kansas
it still
City
is
airport-
it still the regular like you were like
Kansas
on a
City the-
domestic flight?
Yeah.
Kansas City the
Okay.
easiest
Yeah.
airport to
Kansas
fly
City is-
ever.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
only
like the
show up
only
like 30
other-
minutes before boarding and
When we went to
only
Panama
other
City
easy-
Beach was super easy as
Really?
well. Panama City Beach down in Florida. When we was flying back, I mean, it was just super because the smaller airports are super easy to get through.
Listen,
It was a whole
Augusta,
new
have you ever
world.
flown to Augusta, Georgia? When I tell you I'm clearly exaggerating, but it felt like it was one employee working. They got a little podium.
not a podium.
And I kid you not, this part is not an exaggeration. They have rocking chairs throughout the whole airport that you can sit in while you waiting on your flight. I feel like I needed a mint julep
Yeah.
to sit in.
I think when I went to I got like Kansas City Airport, it's so small, and then I was traveling so much like last year. I would be going to other airports, and I'm like, this is like foreign to me. Like, you got like an airport where you got to stand on a thing, and it just like, because you get tired of walking, you stand on the thing, and it
Oh,
just,
yeah, it just
it just
moves you
Or the
along.
airport
moves
is
you all along.
like in Florida,
I missed a flight
where,
like that, thinking
girl,
that,
where you
it
gotta
was like
scan your
Kansas
boarding
City.
pass, and if you ain't gonna make it, you can't even get on the shuttle to get to the terminal.
Yeah, we was.
Because then they
I went
have
to
like
Houston
the
at one
electric gates
point.
that open for you.
Yeah, I went to Houston at one point, and I'm thinking, you know, because at that point I hadn't traveled that much, but so I'm thinking all these airports gonna be like KC Airport. We in Houston,
no
we get
ma'am.
there, and they're
We the
like,
last
oh, you.
frontier.
They're,
No
ma'am,
they're
I'm
like,
about to
y'all
say.
checked in too, like y'all missed y'all flight, and I'm like, what you mean?
Honestly,
what
the
you mean we
concept
missed
of
our
Kansas
flight?
City should be we behind as far as like our technology at the airport.
Yeah.
But the concept of our airport makes the most sense if you think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
everything's
because
so
you
close
get there like
together.
30 minutes before the flight,
For
get right
real.
through TSA, everything,
If you
get
got
right there.
the- yeah.
Yeah. Even if you don't, because it's not
Honestly,
like
though,
a huge line in Kansas City.
After COVID, they stopped having as many things you can go through to go through the gate.
Yeah.
Now it just be one, so it do take a little longer than what it used to.
I mean,
but
you still get there like
dropped
15,
off in
20
front
minutes.
of the door, check
Yeah.
into your flight,
You
and
literally
walk to the
right
gate.
there. Like, you
Yeah, it's
literally
like
right
15,
there. You
20
dropped
minutes, and I
off.
think
Your
you
baggage
can
claim
check
is right
in
here. Your
TSA.
gate is right next to the place where you drop your bags off. So literally, like, my first flight, I'm like,
Yeah,
I
the
need to get
bigger
there
ones,
so
like-
early, and I was just sitting there.
So
like,
where you staying in Cancun?
The Rio Caribe.
Okay.
I never heard of them.
I hear Ryu's really nice. We staying at that in Jamaica next year.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I got money.
I think I would.
Yeah, I got
I
money.
think I would. That's them
Jamaica's
MX
expensive.
MX
Mexico
Platinum
ain't.
points. I think we only paid like $500 for because the MX points pay for all of the pay for everything pretty much.
I gotta be honest with you. Mexico's not one of my favorite destinations. I'd much
Really?
rather go to the Dominican.
Yeah, I've
That's
never
just
been
me.
there,
Good
but
time
I
to
wanna
Dominican?
Oh man, I've been like 3 times.
I've never been.
When I tell you
to Dominican Republic or Mexico.
Dominican Republic, first of all, I've never wanted to be toe up drunk in another country, and it happened. And so in the Dominican, there is this club where you could party in a cave. It make you feel like Flintstones almost, honestly.
Oh,
but you
my
legit
God.
partying in a cave, and they have these glowing green drinks, right?
They gonna
Every
be
time I
carrying me
looked
out
up,
of
I
there.
had one. And then the next thing I knew, I was on the flight back home. Like,
The next thing you knew, you was on the flight home.
when I tell you, like, I look back at the pictures of that night, and I'm like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
And the Dominican is one of my favorite destinations. Coco Bongo there is fun. And I've stayed at a couple
I
of
heard real
resorts.
estate is really good out there, though. You know,
Yeah, it
really-
is.
And that's a good, investment. Just like when you go into Africa, you know, I've seen people that I'm friends with that live in Ghana and stuff like that, and their real estate is so damn cheap out there.
Man.
Yes, from
I'm-
what
I'm
I've
looking-
seen,
I'm
you can
looking
get a
at-
big old mansion for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 300,000 feel like you can buy half the block.
Listen.
Yeah.
You
Now
know, I'm
Dubai,
like-
that's the opposite because I've watched.
yeah, Dubai.
Have
yeah,
y'all
you
seen
gotta
that
come
show
with
on
that
Netflix,
bread.
Dubai Bling? It's literally a show about rich ass people living in Dubai, and there's
wanna
a
be
real
rich-ass
and
person
a lot of
living in
them do real estate. So there's one real estate girl, and she was talking to her friend who was her client, and mind you, she wanted to expand her house. She wanted a bigger house, but her husband didn't want to move. She said, well, we'll just buy the neighbor's house and expand our house into 2 houses. She was like, now, that's a $90 million house. She was like, I don't care, I want it. So I'm like, if you just out in Dubai, just regularly sell the same way, like we have these deals, all your deals is $90 million houses, oh, you got that bag.
Ain't they building like that $300 billion commune?
I wouldn't.
I think they're building.
Bet against
It's like made out of mirror.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I've heard of that, but that's also like that they have like and like wealth over in Dubai feels like it's just running with water. Like everybody
Yeah.
got money.
Yeah.
Because I was watching, it was something in Dubai, and I think it was Shaw's of Sunset. It might be something like of that type of show, and they were like even the license plates over there. The lower number you pay, the single digit, like he had number 1, but he paid like $24 million for that
Oh, they
license
did.
Oh
plate.
my God, that is.
But it shows us
crazy.
it's a status symbol.
Yeah.
Now, surprisingly, I heard Dubai is one of the best solo female travel destinations.
Yeah, I heard that
Yeah.
they love black women over there. Is what I heard.
Might need
They-
to go
they-
do
You know,
some.
and
black
then
women over there.
I like watching people who have like podcasts or vlogs over in Dubai who are from there, because one thing I respect about them is the sustainability.
Yeah.
Like, you live like on a compound there, and not like a cult compound.
Yeah.
But you live on like a compound where cars are not allowed. Y'all got
Right.
golf carts on the inside. When you go to the compound gym, that creates energy for the whole compound. When you walking on the treadmill, they got a community garden, and they all look like mansions.
Yeah, that's so.
You know?
That's like
dope.
in Puerto Rico.
America
I'll be
could
watching
never.
people in Puerto Rico, and they have certain islands over there where literally it's not about the car because a lot of cars are not there, but a lot of them they drive golf carts.
We gotta do better here.
Yeah, America could never.
We
I
could.
mean, we could,
We
but I
just
mean,
don't
it's
want
big
to.
business. Energy,
That's why I said we could
and
never,
car
'cause-
business is a $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
So, it's like telling somebody, give away your billions of dollars to go green for the planet. I'm like, the hell I want to do that for?
I mean, I think
feel
we
it.
should though,
Yeah, I definitely.
because
think so.
you know what? If us switching to being a more sustainable country, not as capitalist, man, we could all have happier, fun lives.
Yeah.
I would rather have that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely because there's no reason why there's one person at the top that has this $100 billion, and then there's people outside sleeping on the street.
What would, like, if we all weren't, like, okay, even if you still have people who are more wealthy than others, I would rather know when I come to every person's house, it's going to be a nice house, hopefully. We got clean air, we have fun, we don't have to work as much.
Right.
You know, I would
it would be a better quality of life.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when you got people that's slaving away for pennies and people that don't really have to do much to make money, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because obviously people in those positions a lot of times have to work their way up to that. But I just feel personally it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
And more, you know, not even just within on a state level or a city level, but on a national level, it's an ego problem. And I can't speak for other countries because I ain't been to no other countries, but it's definitely, I think, I'm better than you because I have this type of car, or because I have this type of house, or I make this type of money. It's a status thing, and I feel like I would rather us live in I know it's definitely probably not even possible, but to live in more of like a utopia. Where everybody's happy, everybody has, you know, what they need.
You know, obviously that's unrealistic, because that's telling people who have grown up and have worked, you know, to a certain lifestyle to give it all away.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel that for sure.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Okay, so similar to the movie Divergent, take all of the dystopian, all of that, the drama out of it. If we had to live a similar life where we just kind of had this might sound bad. People probably judging on the other side, but like if we just had like our way we give back, but then I could go home and be an artist, try recipes at home and stuff like that, and I get to spend time with my family, and I live in a clean area, and we all have a nice house, we all have utilities. I would love that. Now, I know those things have tried to be done in history, and they did not turn out right.
Because you got the people at the top that are going to always reject it. Plus, when you have people in power.
Necessarily realistic.
Because you also have to think of the government power structure as well. You know, telling people that, you know, are in positions of power to give up their power.
And they shouldn't be.
Most times power is more addictive than the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, in that regard here, because if I know I can overrule or dominate you in a certain,
always one.
You know, like I said, and so it's like telling Jeff Bezos, I know you worked all your life to get $200 billion, give it all away and live a simple life. You know, to him,
but he worked for it.
I mean, that's true.
Right. It'd be one thing you said that to Elon Musk.
Well, that's another thing too. Obviously, he's worked enough to be able to get to that point. I thought he had a small loan of $1 million.
That's
Trump.
Yeah, I think he came from money.
Trump's the one that did that.
Trump, it's a couple of them that's self-made, but they parents gave them this.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously had a leg up because you give me $1 million, I don't know if I'll turn it into $100 billion, but I'll turn it into some money.
Yeah,
you know,
because you got that entrepreneur heart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a hustler by nature, you know, in that regards here. And you know, if I wasn't selling houses, I don't know, it'd be in some type of sales.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, in that regards here, because that's just what I've known is sales.
And that's crazy now that I'm a real estate agent, because I actually did not like sales when I was in it.
I didn't want to live on commission.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I was scared
I
was scared of it. Like
when I was in college, I worked for a company. I'm not going to say the name. But literally our job, the way that they described it to me in the interview phases, and like when they came to my school, which was University of Kansas, Rock Chalk. No, not what is the name of it? Vector, not them.
Yeah, Vector is the one in here. All right, we done doing that segment here. So, no, I
would suggest you pick that up.
I'm gonna let her know I'm filming.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying. It wasn't Vector.
Hold on. We're not gonna skip past Vector.
Wait. We'll come back to it. But I actually found out that I hated and I loved sales a little bit. So when I went to University of Kansas, there was this company, and they were like, you could work part time, work as many hours as you want.
That's how they get
you. So when I actually, have you ever seen? You probably never seen it, but basically there is a site where you go on to apply for jobs, and it asks you about if you ever thought about going back to school at some point in your life.
Oh yeah, target marketing. I used to
go back to school for whatever. So people would sign up thinking that they signing up to get job alerts and stuff.
You get all them calls
and they would. So we were on an outbound dialer, and our job was to tell these people. It was like these really like low budget like colleges that charge freaking $50,000 for a medical assistant
Vaterite.
certificate or something. Yeah, that type of thing. But they were worse. So it was that type of thing. And our job was to get them to opt in. We had to read a script, and they had to say, yes, I'll opt in to receive information from this school. Now, however many schools you got them to agree to, we made a base pay of like $10 an hour. And then you would make money on top of for however many people you got to agree to hear from the school. So, mind you, I hated the job. I would go in the bathroom and cry. Because, I'm getting hung up on. I'm getting cussed out.
You like, this is my money.
It's literally like we're on the app, so you don't make the calls. It's automatically. So somebody hang up, it's already calling somebody else for
like a dialer.
Before you can get yourself together. So I'm in the bathroom crying like, oh my God, okay.
You poor thing.
But mind you, I was really good at it. I had a lot of rejection, obviously, but it was probably 50 to 100 of us, and I would always be at least in the top 10.
Okay.
So I was making probably like $1,200 every 2 weeks. Now, mind you, to an 18-year-old that was making $8 an hour,
you making money.
I'm like, I got that bread.
You ain't got a lot of responsibilities yet.
So that's that told me one of two things. I can do sales. It just depends on what capacity it's in. And two, if it's any type of sales to where I'm marketing to people that don't want to hear what I'm talking about or don't want to hear about my services, that's not really for me because that would make me emotional. I would get anxiety, stressed out in the bathroom, crying, like I'm about to quit. Like I would just, leave. And they didn't really even notice that I would leave. So
let me ask you this. So our first topic of the day that we have is, when do you know to walk away from a deal or even a client? Because you saying that you knew that you absolutely hated, but you were good at it. Mm-hmm. In that regards here, which is something that a lot of real estate agents in general, because we are 100% commission and we're chasing that bag all the time, and we know that this person that walk away is potentially, let's say $200,000 house, that's a $6,000 commission check. Yeah. You really gonna walk away from $6,000?
Right.
So and people don't realize we don't get paid until the deal closes and funds. So I can tell you this. I worked in a couple weeks ago. I closed a person, but I've been working with them for 3 years.
Ooh, that's a long time.
3 years. So going to go see houses, conversations on the phone, doing comps on the houses, contracts we've canceled. So now we got to start this process
all over again.
For you guys, when do you know when it's like, all right, you wipe your hands, somebody else can take this problem on. I know I'm going to cut my losses and keep going.
So for me personally, I have boundaries in my head that I've learned to set with clients over time. Number one, if you lie to me, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. And you would be shocked how many clients are willing to lie to their own agent. Like, we win when you win. What is lying to me going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if I catch you in a lie at all, I don't care what it is. Like, if you running late or something, no big deal. If we got to cancel the showing, but whatever. But it's so many things that I have seen clients lie about that, for me, that's a deal breaker. Yeah. If you lie to me, I can't. It's kind of like, it reminds you of like lawyers and their clients. Like, how can I really help you if you're not telling me the full truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So number one, lying to me. And then number two, if you don't trust me.
Yeah.
If I tell you anything and everything you question me on.
It's combative.
And it's combative. It's a difference between having questions and questioning me.
Yeah.
If you don't trust me as your professional, that's okay with me.
Yeah. The sky
I want
is blue.
you to
No, it was green yesterday. Like,
yeah, I want you to be with someone who you feel like you can trust.
Yeah.
I think that this is the number one process where you have to feel like you do know everything going on. Mm-hmm. So my two things is, if a client lies to me, or if a client does not trust me as their professional, and I can very clearly see that, and I have proven to you in writing, whatever it might be, that what I'm telling you is the truth, whether it be from education, from your lender, from showing you screenshots from the seller or buyer or whatever, I'm going to have to let you go. And I'm going to be honest, I've done it a couple of times this last couple of years, because information is right at people's fingertips, but there's a difference between information and experience.
Right.
Okay. So when you come to me saying, well, my such and such said this, well, if they haven't bought a house in the last 20 years, they haven't even talked to your lender, they don't know that you don't have but $500 in the bank. I don't know what to tell you.
They bought a house really in the last 2 years. because the market has shifted so much
Right.
that even if you bought a house 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it's totally different.
And that's not to say that their information is not pertinent, but my thing is, if I feel like you don't trust me, and of course it's not going to be the first time you question me,
Right.
You know, but if I feel like you don't trust me through this process in general, we're not going to be able to help one another because you don't trust me to bring you to the finish line.
Yeah.
I've closed several people. I have no reason to lie to you. You know, that doesn't reflect well on my business. So if you don't trust me or if you lie to me, that's a client I'm for sure. Like, it's no question, you gone.
That's when you like, I'm done. Okay.
I think for me, it would probably be a mental health thing, and not necessarily just like, oh, I got anxiety, like I don't want to be your agent anymore. I think my mental health, just for me in general, in any capacity in my life, whether it's relationships with people, friends, 9-to-5 jobs, real estate, you know, family relationships, anything that I feel like is really taking a toll on my mental health to where I can't be, you know, the best person that I could be, the best mom, you know, the best sister, the best daughter, anything like that. I feel like it has to come to an end. Now, real estate in itself can be very stressful.
Very much.
It can take an impact on your mental health. However, there are things that you can control. Like Sheridan said, we're setting boundaries with people. If it gets to the point where I've set boundaries and you continue to either just kind of blatantly disrespect or ignore the boundaries. If I say, you know, after this time is for this, and you keep on, like, you're not respecting, you know, my time
I
or
just don't answer.
or anything like that, I feel like that's when it has to come to an end, because if my mental health is not there, not only am I affecting my other clients, because, you know, I might be like, you know, today I can't show no houses, I can't talk to anybody, I'm just not there mentally. It affects me in my household. I can't be a good mom to my son. I can't, you know, he's, mama, can you? And I'm just like, I can't. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I got too much going on. So I feel like if it comes to a point where it just becomes too much of an impact to my mental health. Now, stress is one thing. I have ways of dealing with stress, anxiety. You know, it's certain stuff that's out of the client's control or out of, you know, really anybody's control that could be stressful or could affect you mentally. And that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. But if I have a client where there's things that they can control that they don't control, or that they just kind of blatantly just don't give a F, then that's when I feel like you would have to go. Because, you know, money's great. It's wonderful. I've made a lot of money outside of real estate. I've made a lot of money. And I've quickly realized it's not everything to me. Money is important, but it's not the most important thing to me. So, you know, money's great, but if it takes an effect on my mental health, I could have $100,000 in the bank. If I'm depressed and sad and can't get out the bed, that $100,000 don't mean anything. So I feel like if it gets to the point of it's affecting my mental health too much, or affecting my household, or, you know, just me being able to operate as a human being, that's when it has to come to an end for me.
And we're going to touch on that mental health in that regards here in just a second. But for me, I still struggle. I ain't going to lie with you. I still struggle on firing clients. Because for me, I feel like every person that comes to me that wants to buy a house, my job is to help them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and then also I see the dollar signs as well. I ain't going to lie to you. I see that, okay, you were pre-approved for this. Okay, now I know how much I'm going to make. So then do I just let that money just walk away?
Right.
Or do I stick it out?
In my mind, y'all both said something important, though, because the thing is, for me at least, I don't fire you because I don't think I'm not going to make this or that on your deal.
Yeah.
I fire you because the working relationship's not working personally. And I just think how successful can we both be if this is not working?
That's true.
And for me, I think people look at realtors like we're car salesmen, this and that. But when I tell you, there are people who truly want you to win.
People that ain't never bought
Matter
a
of
house
fact,
before.
here's what I do. When I'm about to fire a client, I tell them the reason why. I'm not just going to be like, oh, this ain't going to work. Like I say, I think this may not be the market for you.
I'm going to put a time out real quick.
Okay.
Because Sheridan has called me before like, bro, do you want this client? Because
That's what I was just about to say. I was just about to say. I will refer them to another person I think is more capable of representing them.
And I'm like, yeah, give me, because sometimes as a realtor, and it is tough mixing, especially like personal relationships with business.
Yes.
I'm strong enough to say I can't help you.
And it's not that. And it's my thing is because like in the case where you could tell them the sky is blue, and they're like, nope, the sky is green. But hearing it from a different voice sometimes is what it will take.
And that's okay.
And as like you said, you'll refer them out in that regard. But for me, it takes I fired a couple clients, even a family member. Mm-hmm. And that was a hard thing to do for me, firing a family member, because one, I still got to see you.
Right. Outside of this.
Yeah. Outside.
You made the mac and cheese today?
Yeah. No, I ain't gonna eat. No, they still gonna poison me. I feel like they're gonna poison me. Sorry about that, but no, I ain't gonna do it. But no, my thing is it's hard because I don't want to, lose that relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
Because I always think of, you never know what this can turn into. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that's why I go so hard for every one of my clients, because you never know who they know, what they can bump into, choice of luck.
So then it's not the check for you. It is.
It's not. No,
goal.
But I also think about it because I have 2 kids and a wife to think about as well. Yeah. So the money is an aspect for me too.
The money is, but at the end of the day, nobody doesn't fire people who get on their nerves when they have the ability to, because of a check. Like you still saying it's about accomplishing their needs.
It's not always. It's not only the money,
right?
But that is a factor that we go to because we.
It's a business. We're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. We're 100% commission. Yeah. We don't have a salary every 2 weeks. I know I'm gonna get this, so I can take it. Yeah. No, it's like you don't work, you don't eat in this business.
Right. Yeah.
And so for me now, what I will do is pull back on that client.
I agree.
And I won't make you such a priority until we kind of have a discussion and get back on the same page. And sometimes you do need that cooling off period.
Yes.
Between that client, because y'all probably at the end of the day will still come together
we said
and
it last
accomplish
week, taking breaks. And my thing is, I'm gonna put in as much as you put in. I can't want it more than you.
Right.
So I don't care. I don't care if you're a $500,000 client, but my $200,000 client calls me, is actively looking at stuff I send them, or that they're and sending me in the communications there, and they're telling that I need this house, I need to do this, I got this and that going on. If they're putting in more energy than the person I'm gonna make double the commission on,
right?
That's who I'm gonna prioritize.
And that's 100% what I'm saying is it's not about the money, but it's about the client itself. Because if I feel like I have to harass you and call you and hunt you down, and you look at a message but don't respond, and I send you houses and you're not even looking at the houses anymore, and then when you do look, it's like a week later, I'm like, are we really in a house hunting mode?
Yeah,
I understand that life is happening around us, and I don't expect you to stop that.
If it's not a priority now, just communicate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think communication is another big thing, especially when getting ready to fire somebody, because it does, in a sense, because you don't want. Also, let's be honest. Our reputation is everything in this industry, And one bad person is, F him. He did this and he did that, and I'm like, hey, I can't please everybody, and I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm okay if I'm not for everybody, but for me, I understand that going, like I said, firing that person takes a lot. It takes a lot to get me there. But once you're there, like, there is no coming back. And I don't wish you no bad ill will.
Exactly.
I hope that you find the house that you want and the neighborhood you want for the price you want, and you get all the fixings. Don't get me wrong.
All of the professionals that I know in this industry, by the time they have chosen to fire you, they probably didn't talk to 3 other people. Mm-hmm. They probably didn't check themselves with a coach, their broker maybe. They didn't probably, even if they didn't share your business, maybe expressed what's going on to someone who they, are close to or whatever, confide in. And I can almost guarantee you, before that agent has fired you, they have gone back and forth on it more than once.
Yeah.
Several times.
100% agree.
At least 10 times. I would say at least 10 times, especially if it's somebody you've been working with a couple months.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you feel like you have to think about it. Gas, maintenance.
That's what I was gonna say. The investment that we made, the
investment that I put in there into this. Yeah, I'm not walking away from it. Mm-hmm. Because I also want to recoup my investment, my personal investment into you, seeing you, time, money. Everything that goes in. It's not just firing you. Like I said, Sheridan called me, a time or two, and she was like, "Bro, I might have to send you this person here because I've been working with him. I tell him something, he don't listen. He probably just needs a male
And that's
perspective.
what I was gonna say. But when I fire them, I absolutely suggest other agents I think can help them, because I might say, I will tell them in their email, hey, I do not want you to miss out on the low rate now.
What would you tell them in your email? How'd you word it
So
up?
what I say is, I'll change it up depending on the person. Hey, first of all, I never shame them.
Yeah.
I will always, because I'm a professional.
You gotta use tact.
I'll essentially say, hey, you are an amazing person. I know that the right home is out there for you and you're going to find it. At this time, for these reasons, I personally think this may or may not be the market for you, blah, blah, blah. But I do think that I'm not the agent to get you there. So I do wish you the best of luck, and I thank you very much. If you need anything from me in the meantime, or you need paperwork from me or whatever, I'll make sure you get that. Here are some agents that I think that can really help you. If you would like me to introduce you to them, I'll be more than grateful to.
You always give my name?
Mm-hmm. If they fit, if it fits.
I know that's right.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to double back on, Amani, was you definitely put a big thing when we were talking about when to fire a client, and you were saying your mental health, in that regards here. So that brings us into our next topic, is work-life balance. Because that's a big thing, is having that separation.
Yeah.
Because I know we're a full-service industry, 24/7. Like, my clients can call me just about any time because they understand that I'm always working. Now, will I respond? Depends on what I got going on.
Yeah.
Because for me, honestly, if I'm not doing nothing but playing Call of Duty at midnight in that regards here, because I wrapped up a lot of other things, and you shot me a text like, hey, I got a quick question, I might take a call.
Willis, it's midnight.
I'm just
you
saying.
Playing Call of Duty.
I'm just
you got
saying.
a streak going on. Why do you need to respond to somebody at 12? Can they call Walmart and respond at 12?
They might. I don't know. Depending on who they know. You can call Walmart.
I know how serious and intense them Call of Duty games.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, but that's how I'm wired.
You got the double wheel guns.
I'm always wired to be working and working and working.
I had to change that about myself. So I think I was too available. Not necessarily so. Even outside of real estate, I still have a regular 9-to-5 job. Clients have my cell phone number, and so I think that for me, it's important to set boundaries so that I can manage my work-life balance. Now if it's a situation where, thank you, love. If it's a situation where, it's something super important. So I have a client.
There's nothing important happening after 5 o'clock because title companies and most, lenders are closed. So nothing important that is happening at 6 o'clock that can't be answered at 8 o'clock in the morning the next day.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if it's, for me, if I'm not doing something that, usually if I'm not working or doing something with my son or cooking or whatever the case is, most of the time, I'm probably just lounging around on my phone anyway, scrolling, doing whatever. Now, say a client texts me, and I have a client that'll text me. I think she just be up browsing. Might text me at 8 something and be like, hey, she'll send me a house. Can we go see this house tomorrow? I'll say, yeah, sure. And it's just that. That it takes me 5 seconds to say that. Now, if it's something where I'm going to have to really get up, do something, and that's not all the time. It's not all the time that I will reply. I'm just saying, if I'm just ain't doing nothing else and I'm like, why not reply? I'll reply. But I think I had to definitely set boundaries when it came to my time, and because I have ADHD. So I might, I'll wake up in the morning, I might be doing my regular job, and I'm replying to emails at my regular job. A client calls me, I'm like, okay. I answer the phone for my client. Want me to do something? Okay. Now I didn't put the regular job to the side. I done started, pulling up this house, scheduling this showing for you. Then I might remember, I didn't never text that client back. Now I'm texting. Now I got like 40 different things going on, and I'm just kind of bouncing around. And I think that is because I don't set, and I had to obviously start doing this, setting off blocks of time to where, I'll wake up in the morning. Okay, I'm going to do 30 minutes of yoga. I'm going to put my phone away, turn it on silent. Somebody text me, y'all get a text back when I'm done doing my yoga. Or if I'm doing work for my regular job, I got meetings. Okay, I'm going to set from 11 to 1 p.m. I'm not doing nothing involving real estate. I'm not replying to no clients. I'm strictly going to be doing this from 11 to 1. And then, from 2 to 4, strictly doing real estate. I'm not replying to any work clients. I get y'all tomorrow, next business day type. So I think it definitely takes a lot of, and it's something I'm still working on, but it takes a lot of discipline, not only because I still work the regular job, but just in real estate in general, handling real estate and then having your regular life, outside of that. Like I said, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I have a client that wanted to put an offer in, and they say once you're about to go on vacation,
That's when you get the business.
all the stuff is going to start
when
coming up.
business always
I go on
feel
vacation
like-
tomorrow. I have a client. I want to put an offer in on this house today. I'm like, okay. He asked me, do you work on when you on vacation? He kind of said it as like, I might still need to reach out. We might still have some work to do while you might be out on this vacation. Now, me kind of, still kind of working around my boundaries, and if it's important, I will handle it on my vacation. If it's something that can wait till I get back, now obviously if I put an offer in and you can't figure out how to send your earnest money, and you got to get that in before I get back from vacation, that's something I will set a time apart from my vacation, to help you out with that. But if it's something to where, can you schedule a showing for when you get back for us to go see this place? I'll do it when I get back.
I'm gonna say two things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say two things. In my opinion, boundaries in this business are extremely important. It might be points in your time of doing this career where you are hustling, you go, because I'm gonna be honest with you, 2020 to about mid 2021, I would be up till 3 a.m. with clients, waking up at 6
felt like
a.m.,
that.
starting my day
Yeah.
back over. But let me tell you something. I regret the times for clients that didn't close for different things. I had a client that committed fraud. I had a
Ooh.
client that closed on the home, posed with their closing gift with me, and did not pay for the house.
What?
I've had all kind of stuff. So in my opinion, that was 10 grand
What?
right there. So in my opinion, I will not do that with you. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you why. I just would hate to have took 5 minutes at a friend's wedding that really deserved that day.
Yeah.
And even if it's only 5 minutes, I'm not present anymore. And you don't end up closing. And then
Right.
you end up not buying, and maybe 2 years later you buy with someone else or anything like that.
Yeah.
To me, that time is so precious.
Yes.
I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing it no more. It has been times where I'm sitting in the airport.
Yeah.
Literally, my mama's videoing me because she's just happy that I'm hustling, all this kind of stuff. But I'm sitting in the airport, writing an offer, trying to do it between connecting flights, and I'm stressed out. And I've been working. We had to delay going to this and that place in Myrtle Beach because I'm sitting up there trying to write something before we leave. I'm not doing that no more.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I was, I get kind of emotional around my birthday. I don't know why. And
too.
I almost wanted to cancel my birthday dinner because I was just like, I just get emotional.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I'm gonna make sure I'm there, because what if one of us, God forbid, is not able to be at my next birthday?
Yeah.
I'm not missing out on special moments no more for clients that may or may not have loyalty to me. As a realtor, we have that saying, buyers are liars. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not doing it no more. Used to, I respect people that do it. Maybe I'll do it again, but at this point where I'm at in life, it's not a question. I'm going to stick to those boundaries. To me, when you do those buyers consultations, if you set those expectations in the beginning, hey, on vacations, depending on which vacation it is, I may be available to you.
Right.
This vacation I got coming up that's during Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah,
No.
no. And
I'm
I
not
can
assigning
feel
anyone
that.
to you. You knew 3 months ago I was going on this vacation. I will take care of you when I get back. It's slow right now anyway. I'm not affecting any other agent. I'm not paying for another agent to take care of you or anything like that right now because it's Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
Now, the second thing that I was going to say is, I think as agents, we forget we have contracts.
Yeah.
The contract don't not exist because it's 8 p.m.
Right.
So my thing is, if I have a contract with you, I have an agreement with you, I'm a professional, we are in this relationship together, you don't have the right to contact me at 8 or 9 p.m. And if I do choose to respond to you, or if I don't, I have given you my set hours. Mm-hmm. I did not breach our contract by not responding to you at midnight.
Right.
I used to be an agent that was here and there and all of that.
Yeah.
And because of mental health, like you first brought up, just health.
Yeah. in
I don't do
general.
that no more.
And I think I
don't.
can take advice from that. I think I can, listen to seasoned agents and not necessarily adapt the same practices, but if I can see kind of things that y'all have been through before because of not having those boundaries, or situation where I was at Topgolf and it was a potential client, wasn't anybody that I had a contract with, and they just kept blowing my phone up, asking, hey, can you send me and I'm,
and those be the ones that disappear. I hate to say that.
Yes, and I'm literally at Topgolf. Everybody's getting irritated because they're like, it's your turn, Imani. I'm like, okay, hold on, give me one more second. And I didn't really get to enjoy the experience over somebody that ended up not even being serious and not moving forward. So now I can see that.
And I tell clients in the beginning, hey, I used to say 9 o'clock was my cutoff time. Now it's 7.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, if I'm available and it's not urgent or whatever, and I happen to reply to you after 9, I may, but I will talk to you about anything after 9 o'clock, just not real estate related.
Yeah.
I promise you I'll get to you the very next morning. And unfortunately for me, I do still, even with that expectation set in their consultation, have people who text me at 1 a.m., 12 o'clock about a home they want to see. I have a system to where they can literally put the home they like to see in. They can let me know that they want to see it, and I can set it up the next morning. They don't have to message me at midnight.
Right.
But what they understand from the beginning is I'm replying to you tomorrow, the next day. Yeah. And to be honest with you, my work day don't start till 9:30 a.m. So if you text me and I'm in the shower at the gym, I don't feel bad that I haven't reached out to you yet.
Right.
Because the morning time, from the time I wake up at 6 a.m., sometimes it's later,
right,
to the time I'm sitting in my chair at 9:30 at the office is not your time. That's my time.
Yeah, you can't call your dentist or call your doctor at midnight saying, hey, I'm not feeling too good. Can I come in and schedule an appointment? Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to answer the phone. You can't, so real estate, I feel like, yes, we have to be available to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it has to be a 24-hour round-the-clock job.
Now, if you didn't set an expectation.
I'll say this. For me, how I operate is totally different.
Yeah.
Which, I'm always in go, go, go mode. That's why I'm so appreciative to my wife. Because she understands that for me,
shout out to her.
My work-life balance, which I'm still working on, because as a father of 2 and a husband running a business that's successful, there is a drop. You'll drop somewhere, in that regard. You're like, I can't give 100% to my family and everything because I still got a business to run.
Right.
But I can't give 100% to my business because I still have a family to be able to raise as well. Yeah. So for me, it's a little different. Being a husband and a father, where for me, I understand that every client I close is being able to provide for my family.
Right.
So my clients are always going to be my priority.
Right.
Now, if I'm at, a movie with my kids and my texting, I might. Because it depends on the movie. Like if the movie boring, I'm like, let me see. Oh, this person, I'm gonna shoot it there because
sort of kids be more fun.
I mean, it depends. Like I said, it depends on the movie. But if I'm on a date night with my wife, in that regards here, my phone is down, and I always keep my phone on vibrate now anyway because my phone is usually in my hand because it goes off so much, and that just absolutely irritates the shit out of me. And I'll say now, ding, ding, ding. I'm like getting ready to throw this thing. So it's always on vibrate, but I always have my phone.
3 houses ain't gonna work.
Right.
And
you said your budget $200,000. Why are you sending me $350,000?
I mean, and so for me, my work life balance is always a challenge for me, because like I said, my kids go to sleep at 9 o'clock. My wife goes to sleep at 9 because she still works at 9 to 5, and she gets up at 5 a.m. But for me, I'm usually up until about 3 a.m. every day.
But at the end of the day, it's called balance.
That's a struggle. But like I said, for me, my clients have understood. Like you send me, I've done a buyer consultation at 2 a.m. with somebody who works overnight, but they have a lunch break at 2 a.m. Well, I'm up, I ain't doing shit. Give me a call. And we'll have a 30-minute conversation, and I can tell you what to do, and we go from there in that regards here, because, like, I go to bed at, like, 3 a.m., but I'm back up sometimes at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm back at it every day. Yeah. And that's how it is. Now, I might take me a power nap through the day because, I get tired, so I'm going to give me a little hour in somewhere. Yeah, but for me, it's always go, 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 and that's just how I'm programmed. Because I never want my clients to feel like I'm not there, because we are in a service industry. Yeah. And I am 100% available to my clients unless I do tell you like, hey, I'm going to a wedding. I'm going to here. Right. I'm doing this. Yeah. In that regards. Now, if you reach out, absolutely. If I did choose to do it, just like on holidays, if it's Christmas Day, the hell you sending me houses or calling me about?
And that's my point. But you know what? There are outliers.
Yeah,
because to be honest with you, typically I show in the evenings whenever I do have clients that work overnight, probably showings are at 7, 8 a.m. You know, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, only because of the fact that, heck, a seller might be still putting their clothes on at that time.
Right.
You know?
9, 10
But
o'clock.
I'm saying, you know,
9, 10
everybody run
o'clock.
their business different, and if I have to accommodate, that's different. And again, we probably set that expectation in the beginning. If I have to accommodate a client, that doesn't mean I'm not a good service person.
It also depends on the clients too. I ain't gonna lie to you. It depends on the client.
Yeah.
Because if a client that I know that is serious about
Yes.
buying some real estate, or it's an investor and we done business together, you have more of my
A
attention.
repeat client.
Yeah, you have more of my attention where I am more prone to
Right.
answer that phone at a certain point in time
And you can
or
kinda
step
tell who's
away.
more serious
You know, in those regards here,
and who's
because
not
also too,
serious.
if I have a deal that is under contract and either a buyer is, you know, losing their shit, you know, I don't want to have you sleep through the night and you bugging out. If I can call you at 10 o'clock and I know you're up and I can have a quick
Right.
10, 15-minute
But
conversation.
that's an exception.
Yeah, well, like
That's
I said,
not a practice.
no, that's not the normal. But absolutely with that work-life balance, there are outliers and things that we do different depending on the client.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, depending on how serious you are we under contract? What am I doing at the time? If I'm up watching, you know, a basketball game and it's almost over at 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock in that regard. Now, one outlier that you will never get me to work during, Chiefs games. Y'all don't
that's his boundary.
y'all don't exist to me. My family don't exist to me. Don't talk to me.
My
during
family.
Put the offering out.
They know.
Just imagine you pushing one of your
Hey,
kids out the
they
way.
understand, like, hey, during these 3 hours, me and Patrick Mahomes, we like this right now. Like, don't talk to me. But, you know, and that's
Especially
really,
if you bet on the game.
and that's why I love, you know, like I said, being able to be a full-time entrepreneur because I can set my boundary. Because I remember working at different companies and doing different jobs where I've had to work doing certain things I didn't want to do.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. If a past client call me, I'm answering.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
it could be different things. Like, one thing I love about my clients, I say it all the time, your vibe attracts your tribe. My clients are, I would rather hang out with more of my clients than some of my family. Yeah. And typically, my clients become a part of the family, in my opinion.
Could you spend more time with them than you do?
As I got clients that we got inside jokes. I got a client that said, now don't look at me like I'm funny. This is just my. I got a client that said she would carry my baby for me. She'd be my surrogate mother one day. So I'm saying, like, that's to me, my clients are so important to me.
Yes.
So when I say that I'm setting boundaries, it truly is for my mental health. It's not because I don't care about you, because I got clients that are so important to me. Some of my clients, we still go do things, you know, till this day. And I really value them a lot. So a past client, I'm definitely answering the phone.
Yeah, and setting those boundaries can also help the clients too, because if I'm less overwhelmed, if I have time to take off and, you know, focus on me, do yoga, meditate, whatever gets me there mentally, I can be a better service to you. You know, if I'm stressed out and overwhelmed, you know,
You can't help somebody if you can't help yourself.
Yes.
Like, if you're no good to yourself, you're no good to your clients.
No,
or
I
anybody
can't. I
else.
can't pull up and show house and negotiate, and I got all this stuff going on in my head. I don't even.
But
wanna
we
leave
have
my
to.
house.
Yeah, I'm not.
we have to.
I'm not saying that I won't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you might not be performing your
You're not-
best. You might not be in the
exactly.
best.
Have
state
y'all heard of
mind
the
to-
Miracle Morning?
Nope.
I haven't. I've heard something similar of, you know, waking up early at a certain time.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So the Miracle Morning, I definitely recommend it. I'm all about those self-help, law of
I see you up early at
attraction
the
type of
gym.
books. So to be honest, I'm not the best at it.
Like, look at Sheridan at the gym getting it in.
No, look, okay, so to me, the Miracle Morning, whether you are an early riser or not, is just about committing to creating a mindset for yourself that makes you successful.
Right.
So, am I a guru at the Miracle Morning? No, I do something similar. So the Miracle Morning is you wake up and you have this hour to yourself to get your mind right. And it's even kind of sort of shutting out people who are in your home, you know. So your Miracle Morning is what you do for an hour that helps you to be focused for the day. So your Miracle Morning, there's a more formal version of it, but essentially it's like what you do, like meditation, writing a journal, exercise, you know. So for me, I wake up, I make my bed, I drink water, I pray, I stretch. When I have more time, I stretch, and that's when I kind of visualize and meditate. And then to me, Miracle Morning can be something fun. some people might feel it with listening to a self-help book or a Atomic Habits or a You're a Badass type of book for a couple minutes or whatever.
I need all trap music.
Now, okay, it could be trap music or gospel music on the way
down.
I
need that Jeezy in the morning.
Yeah.
That is so important.
A workout.
We talked about this yesterday. You know, earlier this year, I was getting up, and another thing is I feel like it also helps because if you set aside that time, most likely you're not rushing.
Yes.
And rushing can cause irritation. It can cause you to frustration. You already starting out your day irritated and frustrated. I was waking up, going straight to the gym. I would only work out for 30, maybe 45 minutes, work out, drink probably a liter or two of water while I was working out. I would come home, I would sage and Palo Santo my house down to death, and then I would stretch.
I don't know who that is.
All right, I don't know who that guy is. Okay. I don't know who Paulo is, but shout out to you. But shout out to Paulo.
So yeah, I would do that, and I would stretch, and I would find that. Now this was back when I was working at a call center. Because over the course of like 8 months, I completely changed my life by this book. Amen. We'll talk about that later. But I was working at a call center, and I was just finding that I would wake up. I hated waking up, going to work. I just didn't feel like there. I didn't feel focused. I would be irritated. Like, I'm like, why am I just I need to go back to sleep and try this again. Why am I so frustrated? And I just woke up. I ain't had time to get in a bad mood. But I'm waking up in a bad mood because I'm waking up 10 minutes before my shift start. I was working from home. Waking up 10 minutes before my shift start. I'm still late. It was too much. So I found that in those maybe 5 months that I was getting up and I had a set morning routine for about an hour and a half before I would actually start my day, I would be riding around and I felt like I was driving on clouds. See, I got my window down, I got my music going. I'm just like, life is so fucking amazing.
I do miracle morning and miracle evening. So at night, I get my clothes ready. I pack my gym bag. I get my lunch ready. Shut up, Willis. And then I write out my tasks for the next day. I prefer to do my to-do list when I lay down.
I do that too. I do that too. I write my to-do list the day before.
And in the morning, I naturally get up, make my bed, drink my water, say my prayers, do my visualizing. I prefer to visualize when I'm on the elliptical. Yeah. Okay. But do my workout, put my clothes on, get completely dressed. And then I promise you, that's exactly why my do not disturb does not go off until about 9 a.m. Yeah. Because I need to be able to do that uninterrupted. I even changed it to where my favorites can't get through until that morning together.
Me, I have my phone on do not disturb and still be checking my messages.
Yeah, and if you want to do that,
check them. Even if never.
But nobody has access to you before that.
Because one thing I can't stand is somebody calling me before I even woke up, hearing my phone ring while I'm asleep. Like, are you?
Mine's is on.
I'm like, Lord, it is 8-something in the morning. Who in the hell is calling my phone right now?
See, I still be scared to not make it to where my mama can call me like in the middle of the night, so my favorites can still get through because I sleep hard. So I'm like, what if I go to the hospital?
Are we on your favorites?
What if I go to the hospital and then?
Hey, Monty, if we got an emergency, don't call her. She said, "The hell with us."
I mean, if it's important, but people, my auntie, for instance, I told her so she kept my son last night. She's gonna keep him through my trip to Mexico. I told her I would come and bring, and this wasn't even real estate related, but I told her, I said, when I get up in the morning, I got a showing at 10. Before I go to the showing, I will stop by. She only 5 minutes away from me. I said, I'll stop by, I'll bring his bag. She calling me at 8:30 in the morning. I'm like, hello? She's like, you gonna bring his bag?
Didn't I say I was gonna bring it?
I'm like, you late now. Now I'm up because my phone didn't ring, and now I'm just laying in bed, can't go back to sleep, but I still don't have the energy to get up yet, and I'm just like, I can't put my phone on do not disturb.
For me, with dealing with that work-life balance, so for me, how my mornings go, is typically I'm up about 8 to 9 o'clock, right before, because my kids go to school. My wife always takes them to school in the morning. I always, no matter how busy my day is, every day I pick my kids up. That is literally every day. I could have a million showings, but how I schedule my showings is around my kids. I know
expectations.
I know by 3 o'clock I gotta cut everything else so I get there because they get out at 4. But really, like at 5 o'clock is probably when I'm back to it. So that 2-hour block is to be able to make sure the kids is picked up, usually make sure to get them something to eat. Either they coming with me, and I ask my kids, I'm like, y'all want to ride to go show houses? My daughter now, she at an age where she don't want. Nah, I'm good. I got my iPad. I'm be at home. She cool. She don't want to come. My son like, yep, I'll go, daddy, and he just want to ride.
Can I turn the kid daddy?
Yeah.
Can I put the
and I ain't gonna lie to you. My kids done probably sold a house or so. They didn't bought a house.
Like we love this house.
Because of my kids, and that's another tool that I've used.
dope.
You know, I use them. I'm like, but also too, and that'll be a topic for another day, is building generational wealth and being able to break those cycles. Because my kids seeing me selling houses, and they know that's what Daddy does, is he sells houses. So now even the conversations have changed because of how I talk to my wife and our conversations there. My kids are listening. My daughter will say something, and I'm like, you absolutely use that totally wrong, but I understand that you're listening to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I love
You know, that didn't go with what
I
we
love
talking
that.
about, but I understand you're listening. But no, so I blocked that 2 hours out because when I get up in the morning, usually they're on the way out. I'm like, give them hugs and kisses before I take the dog out so he can use the bathroom. And in that regards here, but if I have a showing, I'm already mapped out from my house to that first house. What time do I got to leave? Because I need to make sure that if I got to be up, I need to be out of here. I need to check my emails. I need to make sure I check in with certain clients and make sure,
Right.
you know, overnight, if I let them sleep on a decision, where we at? I need to check in with my lenders, where we at on this deal here, and da-da-da. So it's a checklist of things I go down. But work begins when I get up.
Yeah.
You know, in that regards here. You know, it's kind of like get out the bed, love y'all, take your ass outside to the dog, and boom, I'm right.
But you
know.
still have a routine.
Yeah, but that's but like I said, for me, it is a struggle because work is really firsthand, and one of the reasons why it is so heavy with me with my work ethic now is because I have young kids.
Yeah.
I have a 5 and a 7-year-old.
Aw.
So my thing is, my daughter and my son, I want to show them early. Daddy made a lot of these sacrifices, so we can do things when you get to high school. I
Yeah.
can be at football practice and cheerleading or
Right.
debate team and whatever y'all want to be in, we can do that.
Dope.
And then as y'all go to college, if y'all homecoming, I'm down there. In that regard, I'm coming.
Yeah.
In that regard, because I put in the work. For as long as I did to be able to get y'all there to where I want to celebrate these wins with you. Because, yes, I had to give a lot of that younger time that you didn't understand why Daddy wasn't there because Daddy's out showing houses, Daddy's showing houses. But, and that's one thing I had to have a conversation with my daughter is that this just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, our lifestyle that we have doesn't just happen. There's a lot of people that aren't able to, like I tell her, you tell me, Daddy, I need some new shoes, or Daddy, I like this purse, and we go to the mall.
Just
and
spoil her. Shut up.
She is spoiled beyond measure, but I do it for a reason.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's
too.
a whole nother
How we
thing.
gonna get
Are
in there,
definitely.
But listen.
When I dropped my son off this morning, when I took my son his bag, and right before I went to my showing, he went and he's in his little underwear and his little pajamas, and he goes and he's like, I get my coat, and I'm like, you stand here, sweetie. And he's like, well, I want to go with you. I'm like, baby, I got a showing to go to. Mommy, I'm like, your birthday January 3rd, Christmas coming up. You want that sword you was talking about? You want the little Power Ranger, Buzz Lightyear, whatever you've been asking for. Like, mommy got stuff that she got to do, outside of my Mexico trip. Yeah. But, I'm like, I gotta make these sacrifices. So
But as they get older, it like I said, just having those conversations now, like I said, is embedding that seed in there.
Yeah.
Because they like I said, because I'll tell you a funny story real quick. So I had to have
we stopped recording.
No, we didn't. No, so we so I had a conversation with my daughter because my wife called me and she told me my daughter went off on this little girl at school. And
I feel like I love your daughter.
And I'm like,
I ain't never met her.
Oh, no, my daughter's 7, my son is 5, so she's the oldest. So she was like, and that's why y'all broke, and we live in a mansion, and my daddy got money.
I love
you
that
live in a mansion. Where you live at?
No, I don't. I live in Grandview. It's a nice
I
house.
love that she think that. That's dope. That's a real congratulations.
And so
to you.
I had to break it down to her because I'm like, yes, we have a nice size house. We have a big house. I'm like, but not a lot of people do. I'm like, you don't ever have to worry about if the lights on. What are you eating? If we go to the mall because you need clothes and shoes, you just point to it and Daddy can always make sure he provides it. I was like, that is a luxury that a lot of people don't have. I was like, so being able to be honest with her about being grateful about certain things is what I'm teaching her. But she also understood, like, she is the cheapest person because she want to spend Daddy money and not her money. And she has money. And she'll tell me, so I'm not spending my money.
Yeah.
And like, and
I
so,
want to spend somebody else's money too. I got my own money, but I want to spend yours.
My daughter's a case. But like I said, I love doing it because this is what we work hard for.
Right, yeah.
This is why I put in, sometimes 16 to 18-hour days, in real estate. it's not every day am I doing 16 to 18 hours, but there are a lot of days that I'm working from sun up to sundown and in between, and I'm stopping. Sometimes I'm like, damn, because I've lost a lot of weight because some real estate has made me lose a lot of weight.
It's a lot of ripping and running.
I'm super serious, and because there's some days that we're just on go mode so much. I'm like, damn, did I even eat? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, well,
I have definitely one of those.
I'm like,
yeah, and I'm like, I got a headache, and I'm like, I ain't
got
eating nothing
At
today.
this point, I got a showing, then I got an open house. I'm like, do I got time?
In the summer, the first time I usually eat is like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And because
again,
it's
back to that work-life
go
balance.
Mode. It's go mode, and like I said, because a lot of people, they see the end result. It's like they say, how the sausage is made. Nobody really wants to see it, but they enjoy it. I don't want
to see it.
Exactly.
I don't want to eat it.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing with real estate.
Listen,
is they don't want to see behind the scenes.
This is what I like to do on them days where it's like house after house. If I get that one little 30-minute window, I go to Quick Trip and I go pee.
Yeah.
I grab me a little one of them little corn dog thing, taquito, either one, probably both. In there, this horrible. Give me a little iced tea, and I love like sitting in the car for 10 minutes to eat it and listen to a podcast.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm in a car,
a true crime podcast.
If the day is like this, I'm not listening to nothing.
Wow.
I'm gonna just sit in silence.
I need to ride in silence because if the day is just back to back to back.
See,
I need silence.
You said trap music in the morning. That's me some days. Sometimes it's gospel. But for me, when I wake up, I turn on a true crime update. I need to know what's going on with this murder, that murder. Or if it's not that, it's I'm listening to my drug dealer music, my Rico music on the way to show the first house.
Like some days
I was on my way to
traffic.
Get your juices flowing.
I was on my way to my closing the other day.
Jeezy in the morning.
I was on my way.
Hey man.
I was on my way to my closing the other day, and I literally was speeding because of course I was running late.
Hey,
but I'm really speeding, pulling into the Reese Nichols parking lot. Like, and the parking lot is full of people. I think a meeting had just let out or something. I'm pulling up talking about what's that song by Lil Baby? Yeah, my diamonds VVs. No. They don't want to see us on TV unless it's the news. I got something to prove. I'm pulling up with it popping. I'm like, I got something to prove.
Listen, it might be a gospel day. It might be a Rico music day.
Hey, that's why I like my closing day music. Every closing day, get paid.
It feel different on closing day. The music feel different on closing day.
The sky is cleaner.
Certain
the grass
songs
is greener.
hit different on closing
Can't
day.
nothing make me mad.
Yeah, once you get them clear to close, it's just like, oh my God. It's like, because all the hard work you put in with that client, all the late nights, all the arguing with underwriters and lenders.
It really is a celebrate your win day.
It is. It is because you've done so much.
And one thing about me, right after, I'm going to get me a drink.
I mean, imagine this. Like, people who like to be like, oh, realtors just do this, do that. Imagine like you worked with somebody 8-9 months. You got a 3-year person. You worked with them. And then maybe they bought a house that's $200,000. And the commission on that is what? That would be like
$6,000.
6. 3%. Then you get your split or whatever from that. So divide that by 8 months or 3 years or whatever, and then that's not to mention.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's not to take all of that out of it. The times you had to spend extra time on the phone with them, your negative energy, bad attitude having, slick talking ass co-agent that you've had to deal with behind the scenes that you didn't even tell your client you was dealing with, and then you finally get that. It's not just the check. It's
and people be like, realtors are so overpaid. All you do is put a sign in the door.
Yes, we made it to the end.
How do you know? It be people that don't even have a house talking about all you guys do is, how do you know what we do? You ain't never been with a realtor,
made it to the end.
Or bought a house.
We made it to the end. You got the keys. Yes, I'm listening to my Rico music, my this, my that. Maybe Beyonce that day on the way to the title company. Looking fresh. Can't wait to take your closing picture.
Yes, I was in there. I couldn't wait. I was like, I told my clients, I'm like, well, I'm glad y'all look good. Y'all mind taking a picture?
Okay.
I walked in there like,
it's a celebration.
My clients like, oh, you look cute. I'm like, I couldn't show up no other way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always comfortable whenever I go somewhere, and that's just me.
Yeah, you a guy though. I think it's a little different for y'all.
And that's what I tell people. I'm like, for me, I gotta be who I am.
Exactly.
In that regard,
but like, however you celebrate your win.
Like, but for me, I usually celebrate with buying a pair of shoes. I always buy a pair of shoes after I close.
I go to brunch. Or like a working lunch.
I'm like, my thing is, I always buy a pair of shoes, but I always, every time I get a commission check, I take my family out to dinner.
Yeah.
I take them out to dinner for the simple fact is because they basically sacrificed for me to be able to.
Let me
do
tell you
this.
something. One tiny, so you could work with somebody a whole year. Okay, you didn't listen to their drama. You didn't, whatever you need to do to make sure your client is comfortable for maybe a whole year, and then one tiny minuscule decision they do can cause you a year worth of work and you don't get paid.
Yeah, but I just went out and bought me a new car to match my.
I mean,
new house.
not even that. It might be something they didn't mean to do. It could be 1 week of work. They accidentally worked. I mean, not accidentally, but let's say they worked 2 extra hours.
Yeah.
And they was already on the line of being able to get down payment assistance. And then they no longer qualify for it and they don't have enough in the bank to close. Yeah. And now it don't work out. They maybe they can't find a gift or whatever. And then it's not even just like not getting paid for a year of work down the tubes. Now your heart is broken for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They worked hard too. Your client worked hard
the
too.
Relationship.
Well,
so
I've had it to where the hardest part about not closing for a client is because they've adjusted their life too. Because most times they give a notice that they're moving out of their rental.
Yep.
In that regards here, so now you have to scramble to find that. They also now have prepared their kids.
They have worked hard too.
The kids have came and saw this and they picked out rooms. I'm moving here. I'm putting this here.
That heartbreak is deep.
And then also I tell my clients, even when we go under contract, don't post this shit.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen.
Man,
now you got to explain.
I hate when people say, we bought a home.
No, the hell you didn't. You under contract. You didn't buy nothing.
You
didn't buy shit.
Hold on.
And so I tell people, I'm like, my thing is I tell them, I was like, don't post this shit because I don't want you to have to explain to people what happened if you didn't buy.
Man.
Yeah. Like, not saying that you're not, but.
Okay, so as we get ready to wrap up, we're going to take one last shot before we get up out of here. So go ahead and hit me with this bumpy face. I don't know what she got us drinking.
Listen, that's probably why we're still on my bar card. That's enough, baby.
But as we wrap up, hold on, let's take this shot.
The shot or after we wrap
Where
up?
did my apple juice go?
I think it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, you gotta take this as a savage.
Sad.
Take it to
savage. All right, last topic of the day. Oh God. Okay, so as we oh God, so as we wrap up, so there's a thing that you had mentioned that I wanted to bring up because now as we come into this age where it seems like everybody feels like what we do is easy, so everybody wants to be an agent. Everybody wants to be a real estate agent, and there's so many people that approach you and ask you like, how do I become an agent? Or I want to sell real estate. Like I've literally had, I think now it's like 4 or 5 clients that have gotten their real estate license.
Oh, okay.
In that regard, because it seems so easy that they went and did it, but they have done no business because
they don't see the behind the scenes.
Well, they don't understand the what goes into it. Yes, I make it look easy because I designed a system that is supposed to be easy.
Okay.
In that regard, but they don't understand the prospecting, the marketing.
That's the biggest part.
Being able, because the misconception I had was I got my license, leads about to fall from the sky, we about to make all this money and kind of go from there. And that was not the case, especially starting out. Starting out, I was hoping to close 1 house a month so I could be able to pay rent.
Woo!
Because mine was different. I jumped full time into real estate, in that regards here. So it was like, oh shit, we got to close 1 house so I can be able to make sure the lights is on, gas is on, water's on, and that's kind of how it went. But for a lot of people,
and that might be where it's going with the way the market is right now.
Yeah, it's going to slow down.
It's going
to
look different.
People. It's going to slow down for a lot of people. And one thing I caution to a lot of people, because if I close a house today and post, I'll have a bunch of people like, either I want to buy a house or I want to get my license. Where did you go? And my thing is, I don't hide information from people.
No.
I tell you exactly where I went to go get my license.
Me
Career
too.
education systems right over there off of Ward Park.
I'm a firm believer in the more transparent you are with what we do, the more successful you are, whether it's with future agents, clients, whatever. The more transparent you are in what we do, the more successful you are because you're pouring into other people.
And it's not even just that, but I give it to you because I can tell you what I do, but if your work ethic is not like mine, if your grind doesn't match what I do, then you'll never have the success.
I can give you the recipe. But
I'll
the
give
sauce
you
ain't
the
gonna
banana
taste
berry
the same.
recipe.
But the
Y'all
sauce
know, but it's gonna
ain't
taste like
the
mine.
same.
It ain't because like I said, you're not willing to sacrifice and do the things that I'm willing.
And you don't know who I know. And vice versa.
Some people might know because when I started in real estate, I didn't have a big network of people.
Me
I
neither.
didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I didn't know like I said, what I was doing. It was me and Google.
Yeah.
And so for me, getting into a situation where it was just literally slow for the first like couple years, even to where I had to go back and take another job that was full time after I jumped into real estate.
Honestly, that's my favorite thing though. Like, I love that the way Imani do it is not how I'm gonna do it. Her client is not my client. Maybe it is similar ones, but maybe
our clients ain't buying us Coach bags at closing.
right. Imani got coach.
Yeah,
But
like y'all about to get a coach.
listen, but I'm saying, like, I think it's dope that my clients are my clients.
Right.
Your clients are your clients. They might be similar. Maybe at one point you buy this type of property from this person with it. I like the fact that your vibe attracts your tribe. What I have to offer, even if it's a similar service as someone else, and it's enough for us to all eat.
Yeah.
How many citizens is it in Kansas City?
A lot.
I can't sell everybody a house.
But that's
Right.
also the 80-20 rule. You
Yeah.
know, that a lot of that I learned real early. You'll get 80% of the agents that only do 20% of the business, but you'll get 20% of the agents that do 80% of the business.
Right.
I agree
A
with
lot
that.
of times when you're working with these agents, it's a lot of times where me and another agent can submit an offer, but they see my name, they know I can close.
You said something right there.
I have a little bit of an extra bump in there because they know that I can get to the closing table.
Yeah.
They know that my
9 times out of 10, if your offer similar or if the client made an offer, that agent that's worked with you before is gonna pick your offer, even if you got to come up or whatever.
Yeah, and sad thing is, a lot of times these newer agents, it's a lot harder for them than the older ones that are more experienced. And I'm not gonna say it like, you know, because I hate when I talk to agents. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Well,
That shit's
congratulations to
annoying.
you.
Yeah,
Right.
You've been fucking doing it for 20 years, but you're really
Right.
still in the same boat as I am. So congratulations to you.
And you can't figure out how to use the showing app.
Yeah, and I'm like, so you know, back on topic.
Anyway.
Because we can go off on that
Yeah,
one. But,
yeah,
you know,
sure.
my thing is it's tough when you're explaining to newer agents, especially ones that see what you do on how you do it. And I get a lot of people that want me to mentor them and I tell them, I'm like, I'm not really
Well, send them my way.
yet the mentoring type, just for the simple fact because I don't do things conventional that you can map out and scale.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, even my assistant, God bless her heart, love you, mama. She's my assistant. I hired my mom as my assistant and transaction coordinator, and she was able to get her license, so she does that as my wife got hers as well. And so we'll be doing an open house together. We're meeting with an investor tomorrow together. So, you know, trying to bring her along. But also, too, like I said, it's tough when they want to do what you do and you can't really tell them because, like I said, my thing is kind of my thing because
Right.
when I get a client, we under contract. Boom.
You
I have
got
an
to
inspection.
make your own mojo.
I got an
Yes.
inspection company that boom like that. I got a title company that's boom like that. My lenders are like that with me, you know, to where it's literally like a fine-tuned machine because I've swapped out different lenders and different title companies, different inspection companies and, you know, HVAC persons and this and that. So I've swapped out a lot of parts to be able to get it towards running as a well-oiled machine. And it's harder for a newer agent to be able to just jump into it and feel like they're going to have the same success because
You know,
they're not.
I don't think it's necessarily harder for a newer agent. I think it's harder for someone who's not willing to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Because we got Imani right here, who told the story last week about her not knowing what she was doing.
Hold on.
Y'all was talking about
I'm sorry.
you got the sauce but not the recipe, or you got the recipe.
And I mean,
not the
like I
sauce?
said, and I'll just be
newer
honest.
agents. You was talking about newer agents. I'm a newer agent, and you said something else after.
Oh, yeah. So you got I'm drunk.
Are we
I'm
running?
sorry. Are we running? Okay. You got Imani.
We could edit that out.
You got Imani who just closed on the deal, you know, pulled up her bootstraps.
Gang.
Figured out how to do it.
Gang.
Clients didn't even know it was her first deal.
Gang.
You know, so I'm saying I think you just gotta have it. And everybody's it is different. The old HR me coming out. You can help clients differently based on who they are, what they are, whatever. The thing is, do you have the drive to make sure they get to the closing table?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Because
I get what you're saying with new agents.
I mean, let me be honest with you. Let me be, and I'm gonna keep it real, Pete.
Okay.
Got on. I'm gonna keep it real, Pete.
Oh, he had to take the glasses off.
Because this is something that because I take this very like real estate is a burning passion that I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Like this is my passion. Even if I wasn't making the money I'm making, and God thank you, because we doing all right. You know, we doing all right.
Louis got that bag, AKA.
I ain't gonna say we getting the bag, but hey,
Willis need to be handing out coach bags.
I need a new coach. I'm about to say
Willis need to be handing out coach bags.
The lights ain't getting cut off this morning, so that is good. But no, this is a burning topic for me because I get a lot of these agents that they irk my soul because they see the money and that's what they see. And that's it.
They see that realtor lifestyle that's cute.
And I will not bullshit you because being able to have my time flexibility, my financial flexibility because of what real estate affords me, but it's not all shits and giggles and rainbows and this and that. It's a lot of fucking hard work that
Can I say something?
I hate to say this, but when you watch like them shows like Selling Sunset and all that, we love it.
Bullshit.
Hang on. Wait. No. They really do be selling them houses, but I'll say this though.
The process and how they do it.
Well, what I was gonna say is, you see these lifestyles they live in real estate is cute and all of that, and I love it. But here's my thing: at the end of the day, some of them were models first or actresses first and all of that. So they didn't step into that lifestyle for no reason, and they're selling luxury homes because that is their sphere.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you might have some of these luxury, like for example, Kiana Watson. You have these luxury realtors that portray this lifestyle and stuff, but they will be real and be like, I had to do this and that to get there, and I love that. And there's nothing wrong with either. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And my thing is, real estate now in the media and stuff is sexy, it's fun, and
the Miami agents. I see so many memes about the Miami, Florida agents.
I mean, it could be all of that, but at the end of the day, you still are a professional. We have a license. Roofers don't even need a license in Missouri, but we have to have one.
Right.
We owe fiduciary to our clients and stuff. So no, it's not all shit and giggles. It's not all just fun. It's not all just the sexy showing up looking cute. Yes, me personally, I don't want a realtor that don't look polished or isn't polished. Maybe not even just look, but isn't polished. I don't want that. I'm not about to spend my highest costing item I own asset selling it or buying it with you, and I don't have no confidence in you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where I'll challenge you, because how I show up to my showings is a lot of different from how you show up. You show up looking like $1 million. I
don't.
Yeah, you do. I've seen
that's
you.
Something that I had. That's something that I had that came from to me like real quick. When I very first started, and I'm going to these events, these showings, and these open houses. I'm showing up in my America's Best. I'm looking like $1 million agent, but I realized real quickly, why am I showing up to a $50,000 house
now in the
with
summer,
a Gucci bag and all?
I don't take my person out. I'm saying in the summer I show up. I might have on like a wedge or a heel, or whatever. But my thing is, I'm there to work. If it's our first showing, because I only allow clients to see the most 3 on the first showing anyway, I'm going to look more presentable, you know. But I actually try to
match my client
I was
energy.
just about to say, I try to
if you show up in shorts and flip-flops, and guess what? Nike slides and basketball shorts on.
I don't want my client to be uncomfortable. If my client's coming in scrubs, why am I wearing an evening gown? And I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be comfortable.
In a tiara and evening gown.
I'm saying, I want them to be comfortable. I don't want them to think they got to come to the show in no type of way. Yeah. I'm gonna always put my best foot forward. I'm a professional. I'm gonna look presentable. But after I've gone to a couple showings with you, I'm gonna match your energy.
But usually after I've done a buyer consultation,
I won't wear Crocs though.
Yeah, no. I don't wear Crocs. Nike slides me out. But no, after my clients have done a consultation, most times it's face to face, and they've met me, you know, in a setting, and I watch what they wear,
right?
You know, and stuff like that, because I'm gonna wear some Jordans. I'm gonna always wear Jordans in that regards here, unless you know you show up in a suit and it's like, oh. I gotta throw a polo and some slacks on, exactly. So come on, you know, to be able to match your vibe. But most times I'm not doing that.
And the funny thing is, back in the day, like before any of us was probably even old enough to practice, realtors had a dress code. Mm-hmm. You know, some real estate agents you joined, you had to have. I don't know. Reese Nichols may have been one of the ones. You had to have slacks, the jacket that they had. They had uniforms. Yeah. You know, so I do think it's still and I know this is a little off topic, but I do think it's still an industry that you absolutely should present your best. But the cool thing is the way that our culture is now, you can match the vibe of who you're helping.
Yeah,
and not have to feel
absolutely.
Can I talk about what was we talking about before?
Newer agents, being able to understand.
Yes, okay. I definitely get a lot of people that will message me, hey, I want to get my real estate license, da 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 da, and that's all great. But I do think these new shows, these Netflix real estate shows, and everybody just kind of sees the glitz and glam. Nobody actually knows what it takes behind it. And for me, as somebody that came into real estate, from the time that I started working on my courses, I was getting up, working my regular 9-to-5 job, simultaneously studying, doing my course. And from the time that I think literally paid and enrolled in my class to the time I passed my test and passed my exam was like maybe 2 weeks. It's because I was really
passed on the first time.
Yeah.
Hey, look at you, because a lot of realtors they flunk it though.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's okay too.
And we all know what's on the test don't have shit to do with what we do.
Literally
At all.
nothing. It teaches you.
I ain't
mostly
really had to
legal
do that
stuff
math
you
besides
probably
loading
don't
up the
even remember
commission.
by the time
It just
you
keep
start
you out of
practicing.
jail.
Yes. So with that being said, and this is not to throw anybody under the bus. I can see you can tell the type of drive that certain people will have. If you came out, you got your license, and you say you have leads, you have people that might be interested in buying a house. Because I talk to a lot of new other real estate agents, and they're asking, well, how did you get your first listing? How are you already getting clients? Because that's where I'm struggling at. I asked them, do you follow up with people? Do you? And they were like, well, I did talk to this one person that said they were thinking about buying a house. Have you contacted them since? Have you talked to them? And it's like, no. Well, and it's like, I feel like if you're not, and not saying that you have to be, well, I am gonna say you have to be passionate about it. You're not gonna have the drive.
Self-employed business.
Yes, you're not gonna have the drive
That's
that you
facts.
need
Taxes gonna kick
to
your ass.
close these deals if you're not passionate. If you just kind of, it looks like they make a lot of money, but I'm not really passionate about real estate, and then you get into it, you're not following up with clients. And I see so many people, it's so hard for new realtors to get their first deal, or it's so hard and it's a lot of work. But I feel like if you're passionate about it,
it's a relationship business,
and you really
people enter it thinking it's not a relationship business.
It is.
Yes.
It's a people's business, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, for me, I don't meet no damn strangers. Everybody's a potential client to me. When I talk to anybody, my guy behind the scenes, JC, he'll tell you, literally for 2 years, I was on him about buying a house. Followed up with him about once a week.
Yes.
Then it just turned into, I'm going to send him a house, get some feedback. Because then now I got your mind thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing, is how I approach
The girl that did my nails.
Pay me for my time.
The girl that did my nails.
If you have like a little, you know how people do that bullshit kind of like conversation with you at Walmart?
No.
Like they and this is why I don't go to the grocery store. I don't go to the grocery store. But
yeah, I
like when I did go to the grocery store, let's say somebody, oh yeah, the weather, or oh yeah, have you tried us before? Yeah. Okay. Everything you do with me cost. So here's my real estate card now. It cost you my real estate card.
Yeah.
So every person I talk to is a potential something in regard to making my business better.
Yes.
If you use any of my time, it costs you.
And I feel like I put so much fire behind what I was doing coming out as a new real estate agent that I felt like at some points I could possibly be annoying. I was having literally every place that I went, whether it was a restaurant, the library, anywhere, I'm taking my business cards, I'm throwing them out on the counter.
Yep.
It's people on Facebook. It's people on Facebook posted like tagging me like, girl, why am I at the daiquiri shop and I see your business card like you doing your?
I know
I'm out anywhere. I'm airdropping. Who got that airdrop on? I'm airdropping my business card to all these. It's like 10 strangers.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that a lot of people want to skip the steps.
They just want to go back straight to being successful.
Yeah, it don't work like that.
I
wish
think
it
a
do.
lot of people don't realize how much it even it costs to get started in
They
real
don't.
estate.
Speak on it.
They don't.
Because okay, first of all, you legally have to get licensed in your state. So you have to take the national test. You have to take the state test. And so you have to take those classes and get those credit hours.
Pre-license and post-license.
So you have to pay for that. So
you breathe, that costs another $500.
What?
You take a breath, that's another $500.
So you got to take the classes, pay for the classes. If you want to take the practice test, which I highly recommend, take the practice test.
Absolutely.
Another $100.
Once you do your fingerprinting and your background
That's $60.
check, then you have to actually pay for the license. And then what people really don't know is,
MLS?
hang on, Yeah, you have to join the
National,
so that costs
the National
the first
Association.
time you pay for it. That costs damn near as much as everything you just paid for.
Man.
Then
That's why I didn't practice for the whole first
now
year.
You can legally
Now you
practice.
licensed.
The
you
whole
need to
first
go.
year of me being licensed,
Okay.
I didn't pay for the
now
MLS.
you need
I
to
wasn't
get your
actually doing
signs.
nothing.
Now you need to get your business cards. Now you need to figure out how you're going to reach
Marketing.
everyone. Yes, absolutely.
And all this, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, because my thing is that they tell you is that your probably upfront cost is somewhere
About
between
$2,500.
It's about $5,000, really, between marketing, signs.
Oh, you talking
all
about
your
okay.
licenses, everything. You're about $5,000 in on this here.
Yeah.
Before you see a dime back.
And then that don't mean you guaranteed to have a client. And
No,
who knows when you get
that's-
your
You
first
come out in
check.
negative.
And they
People
always
quit
and
because
they
they in the
always, and they
negative.
always tell you your next check is anywhere from 30 to 60 days away.
No, it's further than that. My mama paid for my license.
No, I'm saying
I had to pay her
even
back.
now, like unless you have clients that you've been working with
Oh,
that stack
yeah.
back, typically your next check is 30 to 60 days away. So now
If
you
they
got
find something right away.
Yeah.
30 to 60 days,
Right.
like I said. And so that's why I tell people, and I'm like, yes, you can do everything, pay for everything, get licensed, and you can still not do shit with your license.
Yes.
It's also a luck of the draw of finding the right
My
client
first
that's
2
ready
years,
to go.
I sold 4 properties.
Your average realtor in their first, or your average realtor a year sells anywhere from 4 to 7 properties a year. That is a statistic.
And that's
That's
still,
out there.
let's pause.
Which is not
That's
bad.
still very good supplemental income.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a realtor and make a entire career out of it. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and as you know, I was blessed last year to almost sell 10 million last year. She sold 10 million this year. You know, in that regard, which that is not an easy feat, especially in this market now. You know, it is a lot of hard work, but it's also accumulation of years that it went into it.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you see somebody take off
Very
in their
rarely.
first year.
It's very possible.
I hear a lot of realtors.
I heard a
very
couple
possible.
people that have sold like 5 million their first year, which is like what?
I hear
Like,
a lot
that
of
is
realtors
amazing.
say, you know, just because before I became a realtor, you know, obviously I'm looking up on Reddit, what's the average, and I'm seeing people say, you know, it was a lot of people that said my first 1 to 2 years, I barely sold anything, or I sold this. Year 3, it took off because what a lot of people don't realize is you're planting seeds.
It's
Yeah.
the relationship.
You're planting. You might talk to this person,
Yeah.
and 3 years later, you might sell them a $700,000 house.
Absolutely.
And it's not just gonna be instant to where you start. I got my real estate license, everybody, and now you got 10 people. I want to put in my $1 million house.
Let me
for
tell you
sale.
something. A year, okay,
Like,
so
it don't work
when
like
I was
that.
about a year and a half
What year
in,
did it change for you? I want to know that.
about year 3. So when I was at about year 1.5, I had talked to this young lady. She was having credit stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no big deal. Had didn't have a CRM. Shame on me. Had totally forgotten about her, you know. And so she calls me. So we called her something else in college. I don't talk to her for probably 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Totally forgot who she was when she came to me because she's using her government name and we didn't call her that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who she was. Okay. So, I'm going to help her. She seemed cool. We got a rapport. Honestly, I don't remember who she is. I hate to say that because I didn't recognize her by what she was calling herself, and she was using her married last name.
Yeah.
She wasn't married when I first met her. So we end up buying a $400,000, which in Kansas City, the average home is about
250 to 3.
Yeah, I would say a little bit higher than that. So 400,000 was technically above average in our market, maybe not other markets. So she ended up turning into one of my best clients.
Yeah.
And I just say that to say you never know what those early conversations will turn into. And also, you know, that about year 3 or 4 was when I got her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand because that's me as well. For me, it was unconventional because I started off in a company, and I'll say this, in 6 years I've been in 6 companies, 6 brokerage companies.
Oh.
I'm not married to a company
Yeah.
or a broker.
That's a conversation for another day.
We'll have that as well. But I'm not married. I'm married to my business and my family and what's best for me and my business.
Right.
I don't give a shit about none of these brokers because they're always recruiting to be able to bring more people in. So you have to find the best situation for you. And if I don't feel like I'm getting what I'm supposed to out of a company, I'm gone.
Yeah.
It's business. It's not personal.
It's not personal. I wish you and your company the best. 100%. I hope y'all do amazing things. I just won't be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now where I'm at now, it was the last issue with my last situation, which we might touch into that legal wise. I can't say anything about it right now, but we'll touch into that. But where I'm at now, I feel like I have the support of my brokers. I have the marketing behind me now. I feel like I have everything that I've been really wanting that I have it now. And I'm 100% commission where I keep everything I make.
That's
I don't
important.
split with the company.
I know that's
So
right.
everything I make, I pocket.
That's important.
You know, and that
That's
was
super
important because I've never actually had a lead generation system
Okay,
or
hang
anything
on.
like that.
I'm gonna throw something in there. Do you believe that new agents should go to 100% brokerages?
No, absolutely not. Fuck no. Absolutely not.
That was
kill-
the
it
least
kills
important
me.
thing to me when
because
I was searching for a broker.
My thing is you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Why would you? Because when you go to
Oh
100%,
my God, I wish we had more time.
When you go to 100% commission brokerage, typically you're on your own.
Yeah,
when
for
I
sure.
tell you,
You're on your own.
probably one of the worst deals that should have been. I think it made it one of my top worst deals.
Which we're gonna
because
talk about
I know,
that next
and we
time.
could do it another time. It made it one of my top worst deals because there was no reason why it was bad. It should have been bad. And when I tell you, and me and my broker talked about this and all this, the reason why it was bad is because this person is at a 100% brokerage and should not be there. And some people don't have the humility when being a new agent, whatever. And what's sad is, first of all, let me say this: the lady has been licensed 2 years and has sold about 50 homes. That's amazing. But
Congrats to her.
you can sell 50 homes and they be shitty ass deals.
Very much so.
Maybe they didn't have to be. And my thing is, I feel as though if she was not at a 100% brokerage, that last deal, and who knows what else has happened with her other deals, wouldn't have been like that. And I almost lost my cool with her more than once. It got to a point where I told her, you may only talk to me through email. You may not call me. You may not text me. Anything you need will be in writing.
Right.
And I say that to say it didn't have to be that way, but that's, in my opinion, she's an example of realtors being car salesy.
Yeah.
Because even if her clients were important to her, she didn't want to be a professional.
Yeah.
And to me, sometimes, again, that split's not that important if you a horrible agent.
Yeah.
And you know, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. You know, in that regards here. And like I said, we could stick on this topic because this is like I said.
We could talk about that for like 3 hours.
That could be literally our whole segment of podcast in that regards here. But as we get ready to wrap up, you know, some of the things I want to touch on to be able to kind of bring this all back together. First and foremost, mental health. Being able to separate that work-life balance and when to be able to cut it off. Also, too, don't be afraid because as you have to understand, you're the business owner. You're the one that's running this show. So if you feel like as an agent, I need to cut this person off, do so. In that regard, here, don't be afraid that because you are running a business. You're a business owner. You're a CEO. So you run it as you see fit. And newer agents, my definitely, if you feel like real estate is the path, I 100% go do it.
Please get a coach, though.
Yeah, or
I think a lot of
mentor or
people
something.
don't know to get a real estate coach. Get a coach.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with paying for help.
And that's regards. And so, you know, definitely being able to do that as well as being able to ask for help. You know, there are a lot of agents out here that are assholes and dicks about the situation and they want to keep it all to themselves. But there are plenty of them like us up here who don't mind, you know, giving information and pouring into you because I want to see you win.
Yeah.
You know, so as we wrap up, thank you again for being able to take another part, take some time to be able to listen, pour into us. Thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of your time.
This is for
and
real.
then, wait, people watching, if y'all got questions for us, write in. It could be real estate. It could be
Whatever.
you need help. You want to be a realtor, whatever. Write into us. We want to start answering your questions in the podcast.
Link is going to be in the bio.
This another section of for real and
My money.
Money sold it.